Now we'll have a local historian share some of the information and background of how this event was celebrated over the years. And as the chaplain mentioned, this is the 150th celebration of this event. The first one was here at the same location, not the same people, but 150 years ago on the first Saturday of June. So, Ron.
Thank you, Daniel. To be standing here at the 150th anniversary of the celebration of Confederate Decoration Day is certainly very humbling, especially to be here in your own hometown and just yards away from a Confederate ancestor. It's no small honor, and I certainly do appreciate it, Daniel. I'm Rob Wolford. I'm the historian for the city of Romney. In trying to think of what to say to really kind of capture the moment, certainly we have many events here recently of revisionism and political correctness that cause us to wonder, okay, what is the nature of history? What is the nature of what it is we're trying to accomplish with history? It's very easy for us to say, well, we study history so that we don't repeat the mistakes of the past. And standing beside this monument gives us testament to just how important that is to we as humans. When I graduated California University of Pennsylvania, we had a guest speaker named Stephen Covey who wrote a wonderful book detailing the traits of very highly effective people, and one of them was leaving a legacy that others could look to, listen to, follow, take inspiration from. And certainly it's within our psyche, motivations of humans, to leave those legacies. And I often wondered, why is that? Almost as if we're hardwired to do it, to build monuments, such as the Parsons Chapel behind us, or the Confederate Monument to my right. The idea of leaving a legacy is to nail down what it is we're trying to accomplish in having history. Now, no matter what we try to revise, no matter how sanitized we wish to make our history, not much can be changed on this monument over here to my right. It very clearly states the meaning of the monument, the meaning that was given to the monument, the reason for its being erected, right on the face of it. And I suppose that's kind of a thorn in the side of some and inspiration to others. When we think about what it is that's going to motivate people to take and spend a great deal of time, money, and treasure to create something as wonderful as this monument, we have to remember in the time that it was being erected, Romney was effectively decimated. I mean, you can read period writings of the time. Buildings were burned to the ground. Windows were taken out of abandoned structures to repair the few that remained that were habitable. Every house was occupied by lice. That's not a thought that we'd like to consider now, but the many soldiers, the many animals that had been quartered in these houses had left Romney hard used up by war. In that environment, they still raised the money to create this monument. You have to stop and say, why is this? How can this be? And this was not a cheap thing to undertake. This was a very expensive undertaking. It was something that was not easily done. The stonemason that actually built it is going to be from Baltimore, and it's going to have to be shipped up here practically in secret. But yet this was all undertaking. So we have to ask ourselves, what was the motivation? Why did they do this so shortly after the war? In that psyche, in that hard wiring of human nature, they knew that at some point, some place in the future, here in the 21st century, there would be the revisionism, there would be the denials, there would be the rewritings of history. And they wanted to put an exclamation point as to what their legacy was. A legacy, by definition, is what your message is to the future. And on the front of this monument, it was very clearly written. This was erected to remember those persons who gave their lives in the defense of the South. Now, much has been written about why the Civil War was fought. And as a historian, we tend to find ourselves a very odd situation whereby you have this frame in which you have to put the story. Now that seems kind of odd. Why would you have a frame in which you put your story? Well, the frame's kind of invented by the political correctness, the revisionism that you go through. Currently in the United States, we are studying the Civil War from the context almost solely over the issue of slavery, which is neither wrong nor right, but it's only partial to the story. It is not that simple. It is not that easy to quickly reference. Many of the yeoman farmers who never owned slaves in the South fought for reasons having nothing to do with slavery. They fought because their land was being invaded. It's that simple. In defense of their homeland, the same meanings, the same motivations that were present in the Revolutionary War, in the War of 1812, so fresh in the memories of Americans at that time in the 1860s, were what were motivating these people to fight.
The next part of our celebration would be placing of the Iron Cross. This is a very significant honor, and our Partisan Rangers will be doing this, and the location is right back in this area.
May the soldier be blessed. May it remain all who calls not only of the noble deeds of this Confederate hero, but of the continued need for unselfish service. From this moment of dedication, we trust that there may come some inspiration for broader vision and finer service. The Sons of Confederate Veterans by Dr. James Brooks. Oh, Southern Army, when will you see your like again, that fought and died for your homes, your farms, your glens, and stood against them, Lincoln's army, and taught them how we defend the things that we believe in. The battlefields are bare now, the grass is dead and still, like that cause that is lost now, which those so dearly held and stood against them. The invading army stood and fought them and kept their honor. Those days are past now, and past they must remain. But we can still stand now and be that people again that stood against them, the tyrant's army. Let us stand and act upon it and show that we are men. O Southern Army, have we found your like again? Those who rise and fight for right, who will stand and be men, who will stand against them, the liars and the deceivers, and teach them how we defend the things of honor that we believe in.